This month on Connections. Our travels around Chicagoland begin on Chicago's South Side, at a place where kids learn about the art of business. Little Black Pearl is our first stop. Next, as we head west on board the 47th Street bus, we'll tell you about one program that is saving CTA customers money with the help of their employers. The Red Line drops us off at 95th Street Station and a nearby community that's home to one of the largest African American history collections in the country, the Woodson Regional Library. As we head back north on the Red Line, we'll tell you about an annual transit event that year after year proves to be a win-win for the CTA and potential vendors and contractors. We'll step off the Red Line at Roosevelt Station for a visit to a booming area of the city where you can take in art, music, and feast on great chocolate. We'll transfer to the number 29 bus, take a short ride to the Loop, and a place sure to satisfy the film buff in everyone. The Siskel Film Center is our last stop.
1, 2, 3.
Take a day, grab your Chicago card and a system map, and connect to all the places you want to explore on board the CTA.
Hi, I'm Dale Rivera. Welcome to Connections, where you can learn all about using the CTA in and around Chicago. Just steps from the 47th Street bus is a place where you can let your creativity shine. There's something for every emerging artist here at the Little Black Pearl Workshop, our first stop.
At the corner of 47th Street and Greenwood Avenue, you can find an arts organization unique to Chicago. It's called Little Black Pearl Workshop, a place where youngsters can learn not just how to make art, but to one day make it a career.
The philosophy and mission is to teach the profitable connection between art and entrepreneurship and art and business. A lot of the young people in our community really love art but have very little access. They don't have a lot of opportunities in school as they used to get exposure to art. And we wanted to really create an opportunity for them to understand that if you don't have a lot of resources, you can create something from nothing.
Executive Director Monica Haslip knows what it means to create something from nothing. She started Little Black Pearl 10 years ago with little more than a dream to help children realize their artistic potential creatively and one day financially.
My mother put me in art school early in my life, and I had a wonderful experience being trained by extraordinary artists. And so as I got older, I thought that I would start teaching some classes, basically as my service. And found a way to kind of encourage young people to see art through a different lens, where they could realize they could make a living as an artist.
After 10 years based in Monica's Southside home, Little Black Pearl made a big move in 2005 to their new 47th Street location. There's 40,000 square feet of space full of opportunities for kids aged 12 to 17 to learn, experiment, grow, and create.
We decorating picture frame with ceramic tile. You pick any design that you want, and then you kind of draw it on the picture frame, and then you cut out the ceramic tiles the shape how you want it.
I've thought about it like several times, growing up to have my own little art studio to become a painter, and that way I can have both painting and my own thing going on, and I get a profit out of it.
I like that there's so many interesting things that you can get into here. We have different programs, technology to choose from, and we can actually choose from it, so I feel as grown up.
Indeed, the variety of art disciplines that students can try at Little Black Pearl are extensive. From ceramics, to painting, to woodworking, metal, and glass blowing, there's something for every emerging young artist here. And in the process of learning about art, they discover things about themselves.
I think it's saving their lives. I think it's helping them realize who they are, and what they're capable of. So it's changing their perceptions of themselves.
One confidence builder? The first floor retail store where the students' art is sold to the public.
What's beautiful about it is it's all original work. Everything is handmade, is either made by an artist on staff or a student in the program. You can get some beautiful one-of-a-kind pieces, so you can come in and find some good stuff at some reasonable prices.
New to Little Black Pearl, arts education programs for children ages 8 through 11 during the summer. And Little Black Pearl is no longer just for kids. They're now offering workshops for adults in painting and pottery, as well as open studio sessions. So whether you or your children want to learn about art, or you want to buy it, visit Little Black Pearl Workshop Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Whatever day you decide to visit, remember the CTA will get you there. Here's how. Black pearls are unique and rare, just like the organization named after these priceless gems. So be sure to stop by Little Black Pearl Workshop for a truly one-of-a-kind experience.
There's nothing like being able to create something from nothing. And so that's the beauty of this place. They get to start with a raw material and, build something that really is tangible, and to see other people really appreciate it.
Saving money where you can is important. That's why the CTA's Transit Benefit Program is winning over employers and employees across the city. Because while it makes taking public transit more affordable, it also makes it more convenient. All you need is a little basic training.
Lori McGarry really appreciates the CTA's Transit Benefit Program and the Chicago Card Plus that came along with it. Whether she's commuting to work to the Why Me National Breast Cancer Organization or seeing the sights of the city, Lori simply touches her card to the sensor and she's on her way.
I got my card when I joined the firm. It's a great benefit offer. I use it every day mainly because it's easy, it's convenient, very fast.
Lori works for just one of more than 2,000 companies that participate in the Transit Benefit Program, which makes it easier and even more affordable for their employees to take the CTA. At the Why Me National Breast Cancer Organization, where Lori works as an IT coordinator, the organization opted to participate in the Transit Benefit Program to offer their employees a pre-tax savings on transit, and it also benefits the organization.
We save money as well as an organization every month by lowering our overall payroll taxes, as well as the employees evaluate in different ways. It's accessibility, it's protection if it's lost, it's durability, the money that they save each month.
Here's how the Transit Benefit Program works. Employers sign up for the program with the CTA, which allows employees to take a pre-tax deduction each month to purchase fare cards for public transit. The CTA's Transit Benefit Program offers participants a variety of fare card options, such as the Chicago Card Plus, Chicago Card, CTA Transit Cards, or RTA Transit Checks. One of the most convenient choices offered, the Chicago Card Plus, which was added as an option to the program at the request of participants.
The company has its own online account. Each employee who has a Chicago Card Plus is linked to that account. The employer logs on once a month, enters a dollar amount for each employee, clicks submit, done. No fees and not very much time at all.
The Chicago Card Plus also has other perks that are attractive to employees.
The first is that for every $20 added to a card, you earn a $2 bonus. The second is that if you lose your card, your money is protected. You'd either log on to your account or call CTA customer service, request a new card. Whatever balance was on the lost card is now available with the new one. You can also board buses and pass through rail station turnstiles much more quickly than those who pay with cash or with the transit cards.
Most importantly, Chicago Card Plus holders continue to pay $1.75 per ride and can transfer for 25 cents. This is good news for Lori.
That made it more enticing to use, so yeah, I love it. I'm not affected by any fare increases.
There are now more than 2,000 companies signed up for the CTA's Transit Benefit Program, and the numbers are increasing every year. If you would like to know more about the program, simply log on to www.transitchicago.com or call the Transit Benefit Hotline at 312-681-3093. The Transit Benefit Program is about making transit easy to use and affordable, and keeping customers like Lori happy on board the CTA. Another convenient concession has opened for CTA customers, and it's a haven for pizza lovers. You can now step off the Red Line at the North and Clybourne station and right into Pizza-Ria. CTA customers are enjoying slice after slice of fresh homemade pizza. Here, dough is twirled, sauce is spread, and toppings finish things off. There's also something for those craving a cup of joe, as a new coffee bar is now located just inside the station. There are now more than 100 retail storefronts and concession stands throughout the CTA system, and they not only benefit customers. In 2005, they brought in more than $1.6 million in revenue for the CTA. In addition, concessions under long-term leases will bring more than $4.75 million in capital improvement to the CTA stations. So while these retail storefronts and concession stands are good news for the CTA, they also serve as investments in the surrounding communities.
February is African American History Month, and what better way to celebrate than a visit to the Woodson Regional Library, where the significance of African American history is recognized every day. It's just one more interesting place to visit the next time you step on board.
The Woodson Regional Library is a treasure trove when it comes to African American history. Researchers, students, and the general public come daily to explore the library's Vivian G. Harsh Research Collection, which is the second largest African American history collection in the United States.
There's really just an incredible range of materials here, and I think anyone who comes to this library finds that the archivists really become very personally invested and interested in providing as much assistance as they can.
Vivian Harsh was the first African American librarian to work for the Chicago Public Library System. She began her collection of books and original documents on African American history in the 1930s.
She had the vision to see that there would be a need for this information and that people would be using this information. To have that vision in 1932 was quite a remarkable thing.
Some of the Harsh Collection's documents include original manuscripts from writers such as Langston Hughes and Richard Wright. Through the years, people have come from all over the world to use the Harsh Collection, including some prominent African Americans.
Just thinking about all the famous people that used this collection to produce and to go on to become famous. Gwendolyn Brooks, poet laureate, John Johnson, Ebony Magazine, Vernon Jarrett, distinguished scholar, journalist. So it's quite an array of people.
The Woodson Regional Library is located on Chicago's South Side in the Washington Heights neighborhood. The library is named after Dr. Carter G. Woodson, who was the founder of Negro History Week, which led to African American History Month.
He was instrumental in getting the whole concept of honoring African Americans, which was quite a radical thing to do back in the 1920s, to get us honored with what he considered a week of celebrations and focus on the black community.
So this month, you too can celebrate African American history at Chicago's public libraries as a variety of programs are being offered.
You'll find it all over the system that African Americans will be honored by the Chicago Public Library during that month. Whether it's a book display, whether it's a program that you have presented at your library, we run a gamut with what we do here.
All of the African American history events at the Chicago Public Libraries are free to the public. For more information on the events happening across the city in February, log on to chicagopubliclibrary.org. Be sure to make a stop at Woodson Regional Library. The CTA can get you there. Here's how. So explore African American history this month at Chicago's public libraries and let the CTA take you there.
The CTA is a huge agency with the goal of providing on-time, clean, safe, and friendly transit service for the millions of customers that ride. It's a massive operation, which means opportunity for many Chicagoland companies.
On an average weekday, the CTA provides 1.5 million rides to customers across Chicago and 40 suburbs. When you stop to think about it, you begin to imagine just how much work goes into keeping service on time, clean, safe, and friendly. To accomplish that, the CTA depends on its skilled staff. But the CTA also relies on outside contractors who lend expertise in specialized trades or supply materials. It makes good business sense for the CTA and provides jobs for people in the region. The CTA is always looking for qualified vendors and competition in the marketplace, which is why the CTA, together with the RTA, Metra, and PACE, co-sponsor the Transit Symposium every year. The Chicago Hilton in Towers was recently the scene of the 9th annual Transit Symposium and Business Exchange. Officials from the CTA, RTA, Metra, and PACE kicked off the event that brings together industry-leading suppliers and contractors.
It's a great benefit to CTA because by expanding our vendor pool, particularly our small vendor pool, it improves competition, which lowers prices for the authority.
The Transit Symposium encourages companies, including disadvantaged business enterprises or DBE firms, to come face-to-face with representatives from each transit agency.
A DBE is a disadvantaged business enterprise. That is a firm that is considered to be socially and economically disadvantaged. It's 51% owned and controlled by a minority or female. They have to become certified with us or one of the transit properties in order to participate in our program.
The CTA's goal is to award 30% of its contracts to DBEs, making it a win-win for everyone. DBEs get work, while the CTA gets a better product at a better price.
It's good business for us. We feel that by working with the DBEs, it shows our commitment to diversity. We have a diverse workforce. We have a diverse population that we serve, and we show this as part of our commitment.
The Transit Symposium also gives large agencies like the CTA an opportunity to explain to vendors and contractors how they do business.
The one-on-one contact gives the opportunities, particularly for the DBEs, to come and meet the individual purchasing agents and try to understand how to do business with them. What websites should I be looking at? What newspapers should I be looking at? What contracts might become available?
Anyone interested in doing business with the Chicago Transit Authority can find out more online. Just go to www.transitchicago.com and click on procurement information. The CTA originally founded the Transit Symposium, and due to the event's popularity, other transit agencies joined in and became co-sponsors. Now, every year, it just becomes a bigger success.
We're very pleased, we're very proud. You can see around here how many people are here. It's a great event, a great forum for people to come and network. It's just really exciting.
The Red Line's Roosevelt Station is a busy place. After all, you can pick up the green and orange lines just a short walk from here. Not to mention the fact that there is a lot going on in this growing part of town. So whether you get off here or at the Harrison Station, one stop north, you're sure to find the South Loop to be a great destination.
The CTA's Roosevelt Station in the South Loop serves as a gateway to two of Chicago's prominent landmarks, Museum Campus and Soldier Field. But what you might not know is that Roosevelt is also the gateway to music. Just blocks from Roosevelt, they're playing pianos, practicing duets, and hitting the high notes at the Sherwood Conservatory of Music. Originally founded as a college more than 115 years ago by American pianist William Hall Sherwood, the conservatory today is set up as a community music school.
What that means is we provide lessons and instructions for everyone in the community, all ages. Our youngest child's about 9 months, and they go to music together and learn to keep rhythm. And our oldest student is 83 and plays the oboe. So music is available for everyone at all ages.
The Sherwood Conservatory offers private and group lessons in 15 different instruments plus voice lessons. To make music more accessible, the conservatory offers scholarships and financial aid, and there are also a number of concerts and lectures that are free to the public. The recent revitalization of the South Loop makes it an exciting place to be. New residential buildings and businesses line the streets, and one new shop may be the perfect stop for Valentine's Day. Just peeking through the window of Kennedy Le Chocolatier, you can see the delectable handmade chocolates that would tempt anyone. The chocolates are made on location with the help of the shop's owner, a Chicagoan who lived all over the world before returning home to open the Chocolatier.
When I decided to leave the Middle East, where my last assignment was, I decided to return to Chicago and work with my passion, which is chocolate. Keeping up with that selection is intensive, and it's a lot of work. But it's a work of love, and so we don't mind it.
Nestled between the Roosevelt and Harrison stations sits a blues establishment that has been in the South Loop for 17 years. Welcome to Buddy Guy's Legends. Buddy Guy's sits so inconspicuously on the corner of Wabash and 8th Street that you'd never guess the famous people that stop by. Buddy Guy himself is a 5-time Grammy winner and known far and wide for playing the electric blues. And his international profile brings in some of the biggest names in music.
He's here every night when he's not on the road. He talks to customers, signs autographs. Buddy has a lot of friends. Eric Clapton, anybody you can name has stopped in here to say hi to him and, jam.
You can hear live music at Buddy Guy's 7 days a week. And while you're there, check out the blues memorabilia, souvenirs, and Cajun cuisine.
Without Buddy and, Muddy Waters, there's no rock and roll. No popular music scene would be anywhere near it is without the forefathers of the blues. And this place is very special to a lot of people, and we owe a lot to the blues guys.
Steps from a CTA train, you might also hear African beats or smooth jazz coming from Hot House, a one-of-a-kind music venue. As the Center for International Performance and Exhibition, Hot House has been bringing in the crowds for almost 2 decades. The nonprofit concert hall and gallery moved from Wicker Park to the South Loop 8 years ago. Its mission is to provide a space for under-recognized artists from Chicago and around the world to perform or exhibit.
So we have a lot of world music people coming from all over the place, a lot of people from Europe, Eastern Europe, Africa, Latin America. We provide a space for the free jazz within the city.
Harrison Station is also the place to step off the train for a visit to Columbia College's Museum of Contemporary Photography. Free to the public, the museum is the only one in the Midwest exclusively committed to photography and image making.
We're all very familiar with China being this mass production place, but I think what we tend to forget is the individuals that are actually producing these. And this show focuses on the individual dreams and hopes and people who are of the manufacturing world in China.
Until March, you can view the museum's Made in China exhibit, which explores the culture, media, and material products coming from China. So get off the CTA at Roosevelt or Harrison stations, and you never know what you'll find. Live music, a new exhibit, or even a tasty sweet.
Being a CTA bus operator is an important job, one that Lorenzo Gunn takes very seriously and does well. Right now, he holds the title of the CTA's very best, always focused on keeping customers safe and on the move.
For 35 years, Lorenzo Gunn has been operating a CTA bus and serving customers with a smile.
How are you today?
I'm doing good. How you doing? What I love about my job is meeting the public. The public is really interesting. They are the best thing around, and plus that's what I serve.
You might not be surprised to learn that Lorenzo is one of the best CTA bus operators out on the street. And he demonstrated his skills at this year's CTA Rodeo competition, where he won first prize in the bus operator category. During the rodeo events, Lorenzo went up against bus operators from throughout the CTA system, keeping their wheels in motion right through tight turns and up to sharp stops, to try and come out on top.
All right, Mr. Gunn, good job. Good job.
This is the second time that Lorenzo has taken home first prize. But even with his experience, the course can be a challenge, even to a champ.
My biggest problem is that first YN, that's the backup. Once I get past that, then the rest is real nice.
On the job, Lorenzo is known for being a friendly guy, which is why his colleagues from the 103rd Street shop encouraged him to compete in the rodeo.
He's such a personable person, and he has such good customer service skills that they felt that he would best exemplify what the CTA tries to bring out in their employees when it comes to relationship with their customers.
With so many years behind the wheel, Lorenzo isn't far from retirement. Still, he isn't willing to give up the rodeo competition just yet.
I have 3 more years before I retire. Try to win it for the next 3 years to go down in history as the #1 person at 103rd will won it the most times.
Lorenzo also has the support of his colleagues.
I personally believe he's going to win 1 or 2 more times before he retires.
Back on his route, Lorenzo is keeping his eyes focused on the job at hand and making sure that CTA customers are getting the best service he can provide.
But the main thing is, it's not #1, it's how you treat your customers.
So if you hop on board the CTA and Lorenzo is on the route, be sure to say hello and congratulate him on a job well done.
It's almost Oscar time, and if you haven't been invited to the big event in Los Angeles, there just may be a seat waiting for you at the Gene Siskel Film Center, our last stop.
Whether you're a film buff or you just enjoy a night at the movies, there may be something on at the Gene Siskel Film Center just for you. The Film Center has been attracting Chicago audiences for almost 35 years. It opened in 1972 as the Film Center of the School of the Art Institute. Films were shown in the school's auditorium, as well as in the Art Institute's auditorium until 2001, when the center moved to its new location at 164 North State Street. At that time, the center was renamed in honor of Gene Siskel, the late renowned film critic, who once identified the Film Center as one of his 3 favorite things about Chicago. The Gene Siskel Film Center is a place you can visit any night of the week, grab a latte or a glass of wine, and take in almost any type of film.
We show a lot of international films, and a lot of independent films, classics, silent films. Most of our films are part of a series or a retrospective or a festival. We look at our programming as being curated film programming, because it's very much like you would curate in a museum.
Hollywood comes to Chicago on March 5th as the Film Center rolls out the red carpet for the only official Oscar party in the city.
So people who come to our party actually get the program that the people have in LA. We get to use all their artwork for our invitations and everything. And because ABC, they're right on the other side of the alley from us, we have a direct feed, and we show the Oscars in HD. So you see every twinkling diamond, every bead of sweat. It's very exciting.
Of course, if you can't take a limo to the party, the great news is that the Film Center is just steps away from the CTA's Red Line and Loop L, as well as numerous bus routes that serve the Loop.
We'll tell you more about the Gene Siskel Film Center next month as we begin another journey around Chicagoland on the CTA. I'm Dale Rivera. See you in March on Connections.
For more information about the CTA or to use the RTA's trip planner, visit our website at www.transitchicago.com, or for customer service matters, call 1-888-YOUR-CTA. For travel information, call the RTA at 836-7000 from anywhere in the Chicago area.